boy, just be yourself. If people don't like it, if you're being yourself, fuck them.
It's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
And welcome to another episode of The Noize. Kev, I'm happy you showed up, brother.
Damn, you say it like I'm the missing link or something.
I mean, in a sense you are, because, you're kind of, one of the hosts of the show. So technically when you're not here, a link is missing.
Okay.
We have a special episode. This is actually returning to the usual format of all stories, but we actually have a special guest sitting in with us. There's a million and one things I can say about this man. If you see my snap, you already know who I'm talking about. Poet, official published author.
Yeah.
Before They Silence Me. My best friend, realistically the best man in my wedding. My brother for umpteen years. This can go on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, ear hustlers of the Noize, welcome Skyler Lost Thoughts Ward. What's going on, brethren?
Slow motion, big brother. I appreciate y'all for having me out
Yes,
here,
sir.
man.
Yes,
right
sir.
here is where we're supposed to have the applause, but Los fucking up. So
It'll be an applause. Watch me hear the show. It's going to be an applause right there.
It's all good, man.
Definitely appreciate you joining, good brother. I know there's a plethora of people that were ready for you to come on the show. Kind of a return of Skylos in a sense.
Right.
This is probably some of the people that we both know first time listening to the show. So I appreciate you bringing around those quote friends.
Shots fired.
All the way. So I guess let's talk about this book. So Before They Silence Me, I see it's thin paperback. You said it's about 51 pages?
50-odd pages or so, yes, sir.
How many poems are actually in it?
There's actually 15 poems ranging in topic from politics to sex to relationships to suicide, mental health. Everything that I write from my perspective. Every word is written from something that I personally went through. Every word is my story. So God forbid I die tomorrow, people get to know who I am by reading that book.
You have a poem about sex? What? Skyler Ward?
I know, right?
That's too funny. I was actually skimming through the book. The Playground is a dope poem. I Am Revolution is definitely my favorite, but Oral Fix.
Yeah.
This is actually the poem that I hear about the most.
Yeah.
So
Me
is this,
too.
This is where the talent of writing comes into play, because I've never heard head put in such a lyrical format. Like, how are you able to kind of, and not even just with Oral Fix, I was just kind of, teasing you on that one, but where do you find the inspiration outside of your experiences to create these pieces, in such a detailed way?
I'm really about the little things. I pay attention a lot. If you ever watch me when you first meet me, I'm an introverted extrovert. So I'll sit in the corner and I watch everybody, just kind of pay attention to how you move, how you operate. And then when I engage people or build relationships with individuals, I start to figure out the little things about you and how you tick. And then that I was able to transition into writing. So when I write now, I'm able to put myself back in that moment, back into that frame of mind. There's certain experiences, especially when you talk about things like Oral Fix. If you know me, like people knew me, I'm not that guy anymore, but I've come a long way in my journey with Christ.
He tells me this every 20 minutes.
But on my journey, I've gotten a lot better. But, back when I was coming up, especially in my college days, I was a little wild. So I wrote this poem to evoke a certain emotion from a certain young lady at an open mic that I did at Central State University out in Ohio. So she knew who she was. By the time I was done reading that poem, she knew it was about her. And
it's about to go down.
Right. There's about to be a sequel to Oral Fix. This is something actually, and it's funny enough, I didn't mention it because I always give everybody their credit when they do come from Wilberforce. This is another Wilberforce University graduate, another Bulldog, a member of the Green and Gold Brigade.
yes.
Stupid amount of history with this guy. A lot of it I can't say on the show.
I mean, we could talk about anything, but we both might have some serious relationship issues.
Serious explaining
after
to do
this show
later
is
on.
done and heard. I don't want to have to go home and explain nothing.
How long did it take you to write the book?
So people have been pushing me to do a book for about 10 years.
Me being one of them.
I have, kind of like Carlos, anybody that writes, I have notepads and stuff written in emails and everything. So it took me about 1.5 years to filter through all the poems I wanted to. And when I originally did it, I had like 40 poems. And that's just a lot of poetry to give out. So my intent is to get this one out, and then I'm going to do 2 more books. And they should all be out before the end of this year. So it took about 1.5 years to really put this together. And then I got with my publisher, Nuance Publishing, based out of Atlanta. And I did that because I wanted to learn how to self-publish.
Okay.
And they really taught me the process, and really step by step, I know how to publish my own books now. So when you order my book off Amazon, I paid Nuance Publishing up front. So everything I'm getting from this book is my money.
Support black businesses, folks.
Yeah, absolutely.
They say if you believe in yourself, you put your own money into it. I'm going broke for this. So I'm putting everything I have into this, and I appreciate, again, the opportunity to come talk about it. But
oh, yeah, because we are right there with you. All this is coming out the paycheck. So you said you when you connected with Nuance Publishing and they got everything going for you, how did you get with them? Was that just research, or did you have a plug?
So what it is my father's cousin is actually the owner of the company. And I just didn't grow up with my family. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a military kid. My dad was in the Navy, so we moved around a lot. I never grew up with my actual family. All my friends are my family. So we started connecting through the grace of social media. And she reached out to me. Her name's Angie Renee. She's super dope. I love my cousin. She's super awesome. But she reached out and asked me if I wanted to publish. And then she started walking me through the process. And she really did it very professional. It wasn't your family, so I'm going to do it for free. No, I broke her bread off and everything. Like we handled that up front. It was all love, but it was a really good process. It took a long time because I was separating from the Air Force, getting ready to come back home to Las Vegas. I had a lot going on in my personal life at the same time, but she worked with me. She was super patient. That's why, like I said, it took about 1.5 years. Normally, probably wouldn't have taken that long if I was able to just focus on that one thing. But anybody knows me, I was finishing my master's. I had like 7 things going at the same time. So.
Congratulations on that as well. Welcome to the Masters Club.
Right.
I finally beat you to something.
You had it like a whole year before I had mine. I was like, that's not how this was supposed to go.
The complete different order. Goddamn. But yes, finally got one. Bang, bang.
You got it.
I love the design of the book. I remember you sent it to me before you got it out. Yes, I'm from the behind the scenes. That's how close me and this dude is. But you sent me the ideas that you had for the cover. Where did you get the idea for this actual cover? And like I said, it's beautifully made. So where did you get the idea for the design?
I worked in the Air Force again, like I said, and we deal with a lot of documents, and there's a lot of documents that are redacted, so you can't read all the contents. So that's why I wanted the cover to be before they silence me. Having to think a black voice, sometimes we get hushed or pushed out. You don't really hear our story, our version, and then when you do, it's like it doesn't make sense because it's missing so many pieces because somebody else is telling our story and picking and choosing what they want to say. So when you look at the cover, it says before they silence me on different lines. And you have to kind of read it and put pieces together for what you can actually see. There's a lot whited out on the front of the cover for what you can't read, and the contents of the book is what you aren't able to see on the cover.
But yeah, we got Oral Fix.
Yeah.
That had to get in there.
If you know me, Oral Fix is in there, and there's another poem called Silhouette. So it plays a little bit.
No, I was looking at it, and the first thing I thought about was when Jay-Z was teasing Magna Carta, and he was releasing the lyrics to the album, and he had everything blacked out like that. And I thought that was super creative. So when you sent me this cover, and it looks like an official document. And I think that was very clever, so I definitely salute you on that one. So where's the poem about just like a random bathroom jump off? Where's that poem at?
That poem exists.
Oh, okay. I figured it did.
There's a couple of those, but again, like I say, gentleman never really tells. So anybody that's going to read it, hopefully you never be able to identify in yourself that this is about you.
All your friends getting married and you realize you're still giving car head.
Somebody has to give the car head.
But shout out to you if you are still giving the car head. Goddamn commitment.
You appreciate it.
Awesome. That is awesome.
What would you say is your favorite, or do you have a favorite?
Yeah.
In the book?
Yeah.
There's a poem in the end. It's called Suicide Surrender. Anybody that knows, and a lot of people don't know, last 2 or 3 years I was clinically diagnosed with depression and mood swing disorder. So I have issues dealing with that. And if somebody knows me, they know I smile a lot. And people always ask me why you smile so much. I was like, because I hurt. Life is hard. And not necessarily because my parents didn't raise me well. And my parents were very, very like much involved in my life. It was more Skyler made bad decisions and I had to suffer the consequences. I was a very hard-headed kid. So I did a lot of things the hard way. So my life became hard from decisions I made. So I suffer from depression and anxiety issues and things like that. So suicide surrender is very near and dear to me because my sophomore year of college, and Carlos knows, I actually attempted suicide. I was a Nu Sigma. I was Mr. Wilberforce University. I had a lot of accolades, so on the surface, everything was going, but just internally. And anybody that deals with depression and anxiety, you understand it's not a choice. Yeah. You just wake up some days and you're just in that funk. You're not feeling it, and right? You can't shake it. And I was one of those people that had to be in front of people. I had to smile a lot. So I never got the opportunity to deal with it. I just kept piling other things on top of it, keeping myself real busy. If you know me, I sleep 3-4 hours. I know Los talks about that on the show. We kind of get that from each other. We sleep hardly ever. We work always. So I'd put work and just kept grinding. And eventually I got to the Air Force and I was an officer in the Air Force and all that stuff looks good on paper and it's awesome, but I hadn't yet to deal with that. And luckily the military gave me a way to. They gave me a lot of health care, a lot of providers to give me somebody to talk to. So I was able to work through and finally sit down with myself and have that internal conversation. Like, this is, the situations I'm in or something I did to myself.
Right.
Okay. And I had to take ownership. Once you start taking ownership of things, you figure out what you can control.
Right.
Gotcha.
And, so once I got in control of my life, I'm a lot happier now. So when you see me smiling, I'm actually smiling for real. So, but yeah, Suicide Surrender is probably the deepest poem in there. That's the one near and dear to me.
Yeah, because I've actually heard a lot of people talking about it, and they was like, it's kind of a grim way to end the book. But when you look at what the book's about, before they silence me, this is Skyler, saying what's coming from his heart, what's coming from his head, what's coming from his soul. So it's like everything isn't always sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
Everything comes with some kind of trials and tribulations, and at the end of the day, it's all a testimony. So exactly. in a sense, this book is your testimony, and this is only the first one because we're only a quarter way through your life. You know what I mean?
Right. And the way I think on levels. If you think about it, is that the last poem before
that is the last one.
Okay, so that one obviously is probably going to have the lasting impression when somebody finishes the book.
Right.
And then the title is Before They Silence Me. So it's like you're ending with this particular poem about suicide, and the book is titled Before They Silence Me. I think in level. So definitely, I thought that was dope.
It's a very Kendrick Lamar-esque feeling to your book here. So that's definitely something that I think a lot of people should check out. You can find it on Amazon, right?
That is correct.
How much can they get it for?
Silence Me by Lost Thoughts on Amazon. It's selling for $9.99. If you buy it on Amazon, you can also get it on Kindle. If you're an ebook reader, so it's available to you as well through the Kindle app too. So,
and I think once you buy it, you can actually get like 5 free pages on the Amazon Kindle app.
Okay,
just so you can check it out, just see if you like it. But the first one is the Playground, right?
Playground.
Trust me, you're gonna be hooked after the Playground. Again, appreciate you talking about the book. If you don't mind, sitting in on our conversation, because there's a few things going on, fuck shit as we like to call it, in the world, and we definitely want to get your 2 cents about it. You're obviously a very intricate thinking man, so we definitely want to get some of that intellect on the show.
Awesome, yeah, I stay around for a little bit
because we're normally on some ignorant shit on this show.
I know, so I'm happy I get to now I'm done being Lost Thoughts. I get to be Hot Sensation or something. I got to switch it up.
Oh, somebody heard that name and was like, what? Again, Lost Thoughts is here. Well, officially Hot Sensation is in the building. So I'm assuming, quote unquote, we all saw Amber Rose box, basically.
We saw it a few times. Went back and saw it again.
Now, Instagram, they took it down because obviously it's nudity. It's, in a sense, porn considered, through social media.
Is that really considered porn?
In the social media aspect of it, they consider stuff like that porn. Any kind of nudity, certain actions and shit like that, they look at it as pornographic material. Like when you get that warning, they say that it's pornographic material.
But I'm saying, is that, excuse me, more so for Instagram? Because
Facebook too.
On Twitter, brother, I see head videos constantly.
Now Twitter, they don't give a fuck. They let you. They let you do you on Twitter.
That's what I originally saw. That's why I asked. Okay.
But like Facebook, Instagram,
I know Facebook does it. They ain't having it.
I'm pretty sure you can see the box on Snapchat too.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, fellas, we will get flack because we're men talking about a woman. but it's coming.
Shrugs.
When they took it down, one of the things that she said was they took down my fire, when they take down your fire ass feminist post, but it's already been saved or whatever. Do you feel this was a picture to, I guess, push the feminist movement? I know it was to promote the slut walk, but do you think the idea was maybe missed with this kind of picture?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I figured that was a stupid question. Like, when I look at it, I don't see anything that's, granted, she has a beautiful body, obviously, but I'm not seeing anything that's making me like, oh, yeah, that's empowerment. That's this, that's that. I'm just like, Amber Rose is naked again.
Yeah, I don't understand how they consider it empowerment. Like, I don't understand what's feminist about it.
A lot of things that they're saying, don't tell me what I'm wearing, classifies me as a hoe and all this other stuff. Everything, that whole mentality was just kind of missed by. So are they trying to break
the normal conformity of be kind of conservative in your own? Is that what they're saying, that they don't have to be? Is that what this? I'm really lost on what the hell they're trying to accomplish with this.
Bruh, I wish I could tell you.
Right.
I wish I could tell you, but I don't know. I remember there was a video that was circulating on social media a while ago. It was this black lady, and she was butt ass naked, looked like Atlanta. And, she was, going through this whole thing. Why does my body offend you and stuff like that?
I remember saying that.
She was sitting on the balcony.
Yeah. Like I said, it looked like an Atlanta backyard.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like the message was reached with her. With what Amber did, it just seemed more like an attention pawn than it was a feminist message.
Right. I agree with that. The issue, I think the difference is, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Right.
Not in that circumstance.
Not at all.
Not so much. And I'm sorry, you guys got real deep. I got from that picture like seeing Lala's titties on Power. It was super anticlimactic. I was like, so all these years you've been wearing these like bikinis and stuff, that's what your box look like?
Okay.
I guess. But on a deeper level, the lady that did the video sitting on the balcony, her being able to sit there and actually explain her point, got it across a lot better than just a photo with like a little post under it. So sometimes I think she just fell short of what she was trying to gather from the audience. Then two, you knew that picture was coming down.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So I think the follow-up, you already anticipated the follow-up. You knew they were going to snatch it down, so that way you already had the post about they're trying to block your sexuality or limit your exposure or whatever. So I think she really said it was a setup to draw even more attention to the slut walk.
Or Amber Rose.
Or to Amber Rose. Arguably, that's something between her and her soul that she got to deal with. But
then I don't understand why do they want to be called sluts or hoes? Like I'm so lost behind this, man.
I get the original reason why they put together the slut walk before this became an Amber Rose sponsored thing. Do you.
Be safe, do you. Exactly.
But it's just the message is getting really, scrambled up. What if it was a nigga just with a random ass dick pic talking about Slut Walk 2017? Because they said it's for men and women. It's technically to empower women, but they said men are definitely invited. So with this Amber Rose challenge and everything going on, what if it was a random dudes with his dick out? Slut Walk 2017.
Yeah. And if men are invited, it's all it takes is that one pervert,
that one dick
to go
pic.
see all them women,
and the conversation changes.
Yeah. This, like you guys said, I think she missed it with this one.
I think she definitely missed it. She honestly should have went the route like old girl. We've seen Amber Rose naked a few times.
Yeah,
right.
And I say again, there are no complaints, at least from me. I don't know how you gentlemen.
I'm
not complaining.
I'm not complaining.
Sky, I think it was just lackluster.
It was like, furry box.
Well, I'm very curious to see where this goes. If she wants to keep dropping the news to kind of empower the slut walk, I'm here for it. And
I've never been so lost about a particular topic.
I would say I think the movement is more about women being able to do what they want to without having the title associated to you.
Okay.
And I understand that, and it's all nice and good. Like, I have a daughter. One day I'm going to have this sit down with my daughter and explain to her, the way you present yourself is how the world's going to perceive you.
Right.
Regardless of who you
That's
are
men
inside,
and women alike.
Men and women alike,
they're going to perceive you a certain way.
Exactly. Regardless of who you are inside, in your heart, your core, you know who you are, you know your values. If you go out and you look a certain way, you may be perceived and treated in that manner. Is it right? No. The issue is I think with women, and we get into this topic with women, there's no male equivalent outfit I could throw on and get the same attention a woman's going to get when she's out in the club dress.
Gray sweatpants commando.
Gray sweats.
Doing jumping jacks.
Gray sweats might be the worst thing you can do. And let's have an honest conversation. Every dude can't do the gray sweats. So it's like, because I've seen a lot of women blast some cats out on social media about you should probably never wear gray sweats.
Grab some jeans, bro.
Right. So, but I think it's just more about the freedom to wear what I want to without having somebody judge me. And carry myself the way I want to without you having to judge me. You actually need to come meet me, get to know who I am, yada, yada, yada. I'm sorry. For me, myself personally, speaking for me, if I'm out at the club and you got your booty cheeks hanging out the back of that dress, I'm coming to smash. I'm not coming to talk to you about your 401k and your retirement plan.
What's your 10-year plan?
No, I saw booty cheeks.
Right.
That's it. That's the end of the conversation for me. And that's just speaking for me, myself, personally. I am affiliated with myself. This is not a reflection of Beat Network.
No, I agree. I've actually seen more women upset about Amber Rose post. Like, they still try to hit her with the come on, sis. What does the nigga say? You see a homeboy out there fighting, whether he started or not, you gonna go in there, you gonna piece up with old boy, but then when you get to the back, you'll let him know, bro, you fucked up.
Yeah.
That's a lot of the reaction that I'm getting from women towards this photo. Any other comments dealing with this before we lose the 30% of our women listeners?
No. Get naked, be free.
I got a daughter and I got my woman, so
So you're Gucci.
I can lose all the rest of y'all.
Shit. Stay solid. Something else I wanted to talk about. There's a few things I wanted to talk about in this episode. And we actually seem to talk about him a lot. No, this isn't a Donald Trump Love and Politics edition, but Steve Harvey. He recently made a comment on his morning show to a gentleman from Flint, Michigan, after he was bragging and boasting about the Golden State Warriors winning. Kev. And
Listen, I was just in a happy place because I was thinking about the comment. And you gonna do that to me?
Because there are like 49 episodes of you talking about my goddamn Lakers. But anyway.
I look down, all I see is the Cavs shorts he got on. So I'm like, damn, dog.
And I almost wore my Cavs hat. I was like, that's gonna set
now let me say
up.
this. Everybody that knows me, the Cavs has always been my Eastern Conference team. No matter what, LA Lakers are my ride or die team. But if they don't make it out the West, and if I got to pull for somebody from the East, it's going to always be the Cavaliers. That was when y'all had Antoine Jameson, and he was supposed to be the savior of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
He was supposed to be a savior. I don't know what the hell he was.
That's how niggas was boasting him. I'm trying to tell you.
Damn.
But anyway, that's outside the point. So he had the conversation with this dude, and he was bragging about how the Golden State Warriors knocked out Cleveland.
Yeah.
And one of the things Steve said was, enjoy a nice glass of brown water.
Yo, when I read that shit, the laughter that feels in my belly, dog.
You only found it funny because he was talking about the cat.
I only found it funny because he had the audacity to say it.
Right.
We
Very
all
bold.
know how severe that situation is. And he said it, and he didn't say it like, how we in here and we're having a conversation. He said it on radio.
Right.
Morning radio.
Terrestrial radio, yep.
Right.
Syndicated at that.
Right. You know what I mean? That's why it was funny to me.
No, I agree. It was funny. I kind of took it the same way I took Dave Chappelle's joke about the transgender that was passed out in the club, and he was like, "It's like her name is so and so." Okay, well, I can see her balls. Like I said, like that's how I took it. As far as the joke itself, I told you about this before. It's really hard to defend because they still have brown water.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cats are still definitely taking showers in the dirty pipe water. They're still flying in cases of water. It's not even a situation of too soon. This is a situation of it's still going on.
Well, okay, let me ask you this then. What if Steve Harvey donated $100K?
He has no choice now.
No, yeah.
He has no choice whatsoever.
Before this, let's say at one point he donated like $100,000 and this still came about. Could you defend it then?
No.
Nah, it's kind of hard to defend because then that negates the donation because it's like, you gave all this money towards fixing the issue, but you still saw fit to joke about it and poke fun at it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like
maybe I'm just heartless because trust me. Don't get me wrong. I definitely want this.
No, you're grimy, brown giant.
I want the people to definitely get this shit fixed. By all means, I definitely want it to be fixed. It's kids involved in this, but
it's timing. Like the one thing I remember, I think Flavor Flav was getting roasted, and Kimmel, he was on there and he said that Flavor Flav was a worse father than Chris Benoit, and the murder just happened the day before. That's one of those too soon situations. Like the shit was funny. Don't get me wrong. I still was like, haha, but it was like, ooh, like that stung. You know what I'm saying? So in this situation, the fact that it's actually still going on and it's getting no kind of media press whatsoever. So bringing it back to the forefront through a joke is hard to defend.
Okay, I see where you're going with that then.
The issue, I think, if Steve would have said it in a stand-up special or on stage, would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Would have laughed your ass off. It was because it was morning radio.
Right.
And it was just the context. And two, he should have some type of tie. You just think as a black man, you have a tie to the issue. We all feel for what's happening in the city. So for you to say it as like a pause, like a white person saying the N-word, it just pauses at the moment like, whoa, hold on. Run that back. And now you got to explain yourself. And I know you said, if I gave a donation, that's like me giving a donation to like women's rights and then molesting somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like running up and grabbing an ass cheek. I just gave 100 G's. I can't grab an ass cheek.
That was my celebration.
That's me. You know what
I was happy for everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
I gave her a good job. It's like she scored a 3. That's all I did.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't negate, no matter how much good you do, and that's kind of what we learn even when we look at the Bill Cosby situation.
Right.
No matter how much good
we'll
you
get
do.
to Cosby.
No matter how much good you do, if you do something wrong, everybody's going to focus on that wrong thing.
Oh, yeah.
And that's going to outweigh any good you could have done or would have done. So now when Steve gets the bread, it's kind of like, well, no shit, Sherlock. You got to get some bread now.
You got to.
He has been a target for like the last 2 or 3 years. Like, remember, he just had the recent situation where he sent out that memo to his employees at Family Feud and was like, look, if y'all need something, either make an appointment or talk to my assistant. I need this time to myself. And actually, me and Moms was talking about this the other day. When I saw the letter and everybody was going crazy about it, I'm like, this nigga has Family Feud. He just got another game show. He has the kids show. He hosts the Apollo. He has his own show and he has a radio show. This nigga does 6 things in one day. Right. Well, Family Feud, kind of like 12 things. They record multiple episodes in one day. Yeah. But he has all this stuff going on. He's flying back and forth between Atlanta and LA daily. You know what I'm saying? If the man needs his time, give him his time.
Right.
But I tie that to a lot of the false outrage going towards Steve Harvey, and I think him donating that check is going to be a we forgive you, but we won't forget type situation.
Right, exactly.
When he does donate it, they're going to completely look over the amount of money he's going to put into it because he's going to put a lot of money into it. Once it starts getting more fire behind his ass, he's going to be like, all right, take this, 300 racks and my pie. He may do a cool $1 million. It's not like Steve ain't got it.
This is true.
This is true.
Cool
$1 million make black people forget. Be like,
real quick.
You gave that $1 million.
Okay, we appreciate that. That's damn near a new pipe at this point.
Right.
But like I said, man, with this situation, outside of the false outrage, this wasn't the right time to do it.
I agree with you guys. I'm just saying, like, I just figure if the way other people think,
right? He
donated this money, so we'll let it slide. That's more the angle that I was going to. But no, I agree with you guys. It was funny, but him being who he is. And knowing that he's had backlash, he could have dialed it back a little bit.
Right.
And his co-host was like, yo, chill. He still kept going. I think that's what sets it apart.
Yeah, exactly. His co-host tried to get him to fall back. Like, you don't know where you're going right now. But Steve has had a I don't give a fuck attitude since he started getting all these issues.
Steve he's a Negro.
A Cleveland Negro.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I think for certain people, no matter how much money you get, you're always going to be that person.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And, of course, we see people that get money and they switch up. But Steve seems like one of those. He's still going to be that same dude that'll go kick it with you on your porch.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Uncle Steve, man.
Yeah. Exactly. It's funny because Kingpin, shout out to Kingpin, his mother, my other cousin, actually went to college with him, the whole 9. And she was like, he was a dickhead in college, so this is just naturally his demeanor. Like, this is just how he is, and you get that same feeling in his stand up. Even when he did the stand up about he did the stand up for the church folks, and he was still an asshole. He was an asshole without cussing. So I completely agree. It's just naturally in his personality. Yeah. Certain shit you got to know when to look to your publicist. Like, no, that's a no go.
Right.
I can't do that.
Don't do that.
Got you. Okay, for real. As I mentioned, we're gonna get to Bill. Since it was the most recently brought up thing, mistrial.
How y'all feel about that?
We all know that this isn't a definitive guilty, but we also know this isn't a definitive innocence. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let y'all go first because I have my feelings towards it. But
you're the guest. Go ahead, knock this out.
I'm I'm real easy about the situation, man. I just think it's been drug out for so long. And then like everybody knows when you get a mistrial, that doesn't mean it's over.
Right.
No, it doesn't.
No, you're still going to go through litigation. You're still going to go through this process. And it's just sad to see, again, like I said, when we were talking about Steve, to watch somebody
You grew
at the
up
tail end of your career, like the man is dying. This is how he's going to go out. And this is what we're going to remember.
Right.
This is what you're not going to remember all the years of great things he did. You're going to remember how he went out.
Right.
And that's just some sad shit to watch. I'm not here to argue guilt or innocence. I think God is going to judge everybody. So I don't have nothing to say because I know when I get up there to talk to God, I'm going to have to sit down through some painful parts of my life.
Oh, yeah. That's why I hope, when it's that time, it's DVD.
Right.
Just skip past all that.
Well,
Go to chapter
look at
34. Look, I'm getting baptized. Look at that.
The way I look at it, the Bible skips Jesus' 20s. So they can skip my 20s.
I say the same thing.
I'm like, we can skip my 20s because Jesus didn't have to talk about his 20s. Where's those pages in the book? But I just think with Bill's situation, it just sucks that it ended up being a mistrial. Like, you want to see it just be done.
Right.
Whether it's guilt or innocence, just have it done so the man can go continue to live whatever remaining life he has.
Right.
So to see it drag out now, it kind of makes me real sad to watch. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, me personally, I don't even. This particular situation is weird for me, is because I want to say, well, it's Bill. He couldn't have did this. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, he was probably, like you said, he was taking it.
I think he even said, he was like, I forgot how exactly he said, but he basically was like, I like to fondle titties. I fondle the titties. I forgot how he put it, but basically he tested my understand. I was playing with the titties. We were kissing, and I was at it like a little kid with a motherfucking fidget spinner.
I'm like,
My bad. Continue, Kev.
no, I think in this case, honestly, in my heart of hearts, I think that there's more information that's not been put out there to it. You know what I mean? Maybe it's biased, but I just can't see Bill Cosby just taking it. I think it was a little bit more complex than what it seems. But like you said, man, like it's been dragged out. How long has it been? A year?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we just need to go
Ooh,
ahead.
over a year.
Over a year?
They started investigating, I want to say 2014 after, what's his name? Hamill Buress had his comedy show talking about, Google Bill Cosby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's been going on since then. So, yeah, it's about 3 years
We
now.
just need to go ahead and get this shit over with. And like you said, let him live out whatever life he got left. Because at this point, it's starting to be like, really? You know what I mean? It's getting old.
Right. I agree as far as there needs to be some kind of ending to it because it has been going on for a while. I think it's getting stretched out just because of who he is.
Right.
He was considered America's dad for about 3 decades. And the fact that
It might be longer.
Maybe longer. It may be longer. But the fact that America's dad was African American and they finally got some dirt on him, like think about how they did Tiger. When Tiger had his issues, the front page was all the females he smashed. Now you got Bill.
Tiger.
The front page was all 60 women that were accusing him of something. Now, not gonna lie, and honestly, I really don't. Y'all know me. I don't care about how people feel about my comments. When he first was accused, especially when it comes to rape, because you're guilty until proven guilty when it comes down to rape. And I said that right. Trust me.
Yeah, I know.
When there's like 60 women trying to get Bill or whatever, I was skeptical because you've seen a lot of females call rape on somebody and then, renege on it. It happens often. It happened to Kobe. It happened to Pac. Like, it happens. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Oh, Pac. Never mind. I'll come back to that. You see it happen. You see it happen often. So I was skeptical about it, and especially when they said he was giving girls Quaaludes. I'm like, I didn't know Bill was down with the pills. I didn't know that. I thought he was a pudding nigga. You know what I'm saying? But when I read the deposition that he had with I forgot who was the initial victim, but they asked him, "Did you give girls Quaaludes without their knowledge?" And he said, "Yeah." And I'm like, okay. And then they said, when we asked him, "Did you give it to him with the intent to have sex?" And his lawyer cut him off. That's when I started leaning towards this nigga's guilty. Mm-hmm. There's legit no reason to drug anybody outside their knowledge other than trying to take advantage of them.
Right.
And he came up in a time where that was just the thing to do.
Yeah,
like, You gonna let me smash? No. Oh, no, you're gonna let me smash. That was just me letting you know what was going on from here. You know what I'm saying?
Giving you a disclaimer.
Around the time, that was the normal things to do. I mean, it's just like when you look back at a lot of things that have changed going into 2017, there was a lot of shit that we did that is frowned upon.
Culture.
Exactly. It's straight rape culture.
Was rape culture, yeah.
Around that time, it probably was, normal to just slip somebody a Quaalude and then get into the panty drawers. Mm. But you know, even though I disagree with the amount of time it took for people to finally get into it, it doesn't take away what actually happened.
No,
so
absolutely.
honestly, this should have been an open and shut case. Not even off the 60 women, but off of the one woman they were talking about. Because like I said, 60, somebody trying to just cash out.
That's what I'm saying. I can't sit here and say that I believe he drugged 60 women for it, but he definitely got a good 2/3 of that.
Yeah, I'm about to say he got a chunk of them got it. They got it
yeah.
for real. Again, I agree with you, Sky. Ultimately, God is the ultimate judge, and that's the only trial he really needs to look forward to. But with this, he has to pay for this in some way, shape, or form because he kind of played everybody. Like he was definitely putting forth this appearance and turned out to be this complete different nigga.
What if he was putting that appearance on because he knew that
he was out here just giving them Quaaludes?
Yeah, but maybe that's what his thing was. I'm gonna make it look like I'm great on the surface, but deep down, you taking these pills.
Right.
Yeah, that's a hard one right there because I feel like you hit a certain level in your life. I never want anybody to talk about who I was.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I was in my young 20s. When I get to my 50, 60, 70-year-old, then they want me to answer for what I did in my 20s. At some point, in certain cases, not so much this because I don't really do the rape thing and all that. That's you're going to have to pay for that much.
Right. Definitely, right.
But there's certain things in your past that you hope people over time allow you to outgrow and like you've lived a life beyond that and you've become a different person. And I don't want to keep coming back. You keep reminding me of who I was in 2007. Well, that's good for you, bro. I'm 50 years old, dog.
Right.
Like you still talking about 2007.
Like still, right. But no, I agree with you. But I think that's more so dealing with the personality and your actions. With this, this is something that's just really hard to eliminate. And honestly, if you have to pay for it in this life or the next, you should.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think he will. I mean, honestly, the way it's going, I don't think he'll probably do any jail time, but I think right when he won't know that he's not going to do any jail. I think he's going to die before this is all said and done.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
the stress is going to kill him.
And that's how he's going to pay for it. He's going out, and like you said, Skyler, this is what we're going to remember.
I think the only TV station that still plays his show is what, Bounce?
I haven't seen nothing of his.
Nah, it's a television station that if you have the antennas, you get this TV station called Bounce. That's the only station that still plays his shit. So it's like, see, doing stuff like that, I don't agree with because you could definitely still watch episodes of Seventh Heaven and that dad was out here fucking babies.
Man.
And you see no one ever talks about he admitted to it. Right. He did a whole interview about it and no one talks about it because he's low key. People look at Seventh Heaven as the non-comedic white version of the Cosby Show.
That
they
dude
look at him as the white
dad.
American's dad. Right, America's dad, exactly. But no one talks about it. It's like, oh, he raped babies, just let him go away. They don't even talk about Jared Fogle anymore. Whether he got locked up, so that's probably why.
They don't talk about him. They don't talk about the principal from Ferris Bueller. That movie still come on.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of stuff that, a lot of white people get, they just sweep under the rug. Like, okay, he fucked babies, but, it's cool. It's fine. Bill Cosby, you was out here raping women? Oh, crucify this man. The fact that they had an entire special dedicated to interview every woman that he was accused of raping. And I'm talking about with beautiful production at that. This wasn't just like no 60 Minutes. Like y'all were on set. Like y'all did this. That's the only thing that I kind of disagree with because it's not equal treatment of basically the same offense. Rape and child molestation get you killed in prison. So it's like, again, it's definitely up there.
General population,
Right.
But it's like, it's just how things were handled. They didn't interview none of the kids. They didn't, because they're older now.
Right.
If we go on a conspiracy side, do you think that this all came about with Bill because he was trying to buy that network station? He wasn't trying to buy Sony, right?
It was,
I don't know why Sony.
I forgot what the rumor is, but honestly, I think that's bullshit just because it's not a lot of paperwork. Because when you're trying to buy a network, that you're doing months and months of paperwork. Sometimes about a year and some change that you're really trying to get this thing going.
But they were saying prior to that he had been working to get this and kept hitting certain roadblocks. You know what I mean? And if we're gonna play conspiracy theorists for a second, just imagine the magnitude that American's dad at the time has if he has a network where he can get black people a platform. You know what I mean? Do you guys think that may have played some factor in, hey, let's go Google Bill Cosby and see what's really going on? Do you think that may have had something to do with it?
If we're doing conspiracy,
Yeah, if we're doing conspiracy.
we can go conspiracy, absolutely. But I think Bill had the same power and position to do what Oprah did.
Right.
Bill didn't need to buy anybody's shit. He could have made his own shit.
Right.
And we would have all supported his own station, his own network. So I think, you kind of got to play both sides of that game. Yeah. But, yeah, if you want to do conspiracy, it is kind of no such thing as coincidence.
Right.
That this came up when he was supposedly purchasing a network. Yeah.
At the end of the
A
day,
major
Bill,
network like that.
well, power to you, brother, but you finna pay for this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I would say get into some somber news, but it's been pretty somber already. As we all saw, Philando Castile's murderer, let's call it what it is, got off.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the sun came up today and is going to go down, so there was no surprise that this dude got off, just like there's no surprise about the sun going up and going down. You're numb to it. It's almost it's an expectation, like he's going to court. Oh, okay, I'll give it about 6 months, he'll be off.
Yeah.
After being in court one day.
Yeah.
It's saddening. We can have these videos of an African American, in compliance to what the police is asking him for. Mm-hmm. He shot Philando for doing what he asked him to do.
Right.
And then you just shoot him. Why did you even have your gun out in the first place? You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't a threat. Nobody was a threat. Everybody was, was in compliance with what you was asking them to do. Yet you still felt so threatened to still, put one in his chest. Like, that shit makes no sense.
This man had his daughter and his girl in the car. And me personally, I figure I hold police officers to a higher standard for as their training goes. And I'm like, once you approach that situation, now granted people are unpredictable, but once you approach that situation, especially with a black man, and see that he has his girl and his child in the car, chances are he's going to listen to what you said.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like you said,
that's the fastest way to get both of y'all in jail and your kid in the system.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's for sure not about to go down. It's just like that video I saw a while ago. I think it's probably still circulating. My man was he got pulled over by the cops, and he reached for his license, and the cop immediately drew his gun and had it pointed at his head, and it took the other cop to go up to him like, "What are you doing? Put your gun down. Relax." He wanted to shoot him so bad. And I've never understood why we immediately looked at as a threat, no matter what our situation is. A lot of the arguments come around, well, what was he wearing? He don't fuck what he was wearing.
It doesn't matter. Right.
He could have been a beater and some shorts, or he could have been in a full 3-piece suit. We are still looked at as a threat. Mm-hmm. So the fact that this man got not guilty as if he had probable cause to shoot Philando Castile, that shit makes no sense.
None.
Zero. There's nothing to defend it. You know what I'm saying? I come from a very biased position because I wore a uniform to protect this country, and then my father is also a police officer here in Las Vegas. So I grew up around a bunch of police officers. I understand their training. I get it. I dig it. There's a level where I think no matter, like you said, you hold them to a higher standard.
Right.
I accept people are people.
Right.
And then, you know what I'm saying? So just because you have on a uniform, that just kind of gives you the room to experience or exude some of your worst personality traits. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be a chicken shit motherfucker, you can't wear a uniform where you're supposed to defend people.
Right.
You can't approach me and be nervous. I'm 6'1", 245.
With the gun and the pepper spray and the billy club and all these forms of protection.
Right.
Before you even get to the gun, you got all these forms.
Exactly. I went to a forum. They had a little community forum, and police officers explained how they even engage you. They already, like Kev size, immediately they're going to go to something physical before they have the conversation.
Right.
Just because he's as big as he is.
Oh, trust me, I know.
And everybody in this room kind of the same capacity. We're all kind of bigger. We, you know what I'm saying, maybe we have rested nigga face because I know I don't look like the happiest dude. When the police pull me over, I'm done smiling.
People tell me all the time I don't look approachable.
Right. Yeah. So, immediately we're going to get an attitude, and I know the way my voice is and how I am and the way I stand and my posture. I look aggressive. So I've been put in cuffs and sat down on the ground before any words were ever had with me.
Right.
And, but I think it's a really tough situation to watch. And, there's going to be a breaking point. Mm. And when the breaking point happens, they're not going to be able to stop this.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because when we start shooting back, start fighting back, now we're going to have a problem.
Huge problem.
But see, it's not a problem yet. Why? Because it's not their kids getting shot.
Exactly.
It's not their communities getting ruined. It's not their families getting devastated. But when it happens, now it's criminal.
Oh, yeah.
You see none of the cops are black cops
Oh, yeah.
killing white kids, no. You know what I'm saying?
Even though I'm pretty sure that one sheriff, Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus ass nigga, I'm pretty sure he's going to catch him a black body one of these days.
Right. So it's going to happen, and it's like any other revolution. Eventually, enough is going to be enough.
You're right.
And somebody's going to lose it. And it's going to be a domino effect.
Right.
And it's going to be chaotic. And where chaos comes, then after the dust settles, we can start to rebuild. And I'm very nervous to see where this goes.
Oh, yeah.
In the future. So I feel, for all the people that wear the uniform and you wear it correctly and you do what you're supposed to do, and you defend it and you use your actions to really change the community, I salute you. For all you fuck boys that do it the other way, I pray to God you figure it out before somebody else figures it out for you. Because that's going to be a really rough day for you, my G.
You kind of touched on it, too, when it comes down to finally fighting back. That one real popular phrase now, dear racists, we are not our ancestors. We'll fuck you up or whatever the case is. You got these hands or whatever. Honestly, I thought it was funny. I'm like, you damn right. But then it's like you look at the landscape, and it's like, for this generation, it's bullshit. Because you look at our ancestors. You have the Panthers. You got the L.A. riots, the Watts riots, the Chicago riots, the Detroit riots. Like, our ancestors were fucking shit up.
Right.
We have social media. That's all we have. We have a voice on social media. Everybody's quick to say what they will do and how it go down, but then it's like,
once that shit
why
happens,
isn't it going
goes
down?
out the door.
It's all about your actions. Everything else is just words. Once we start shooting back, that changes the entire landscape because now somebody's gonna be like, okay, so we can get some get back.
Right.
But then, of course, that's when martial law is going to come in, and then they're really going to change everything after that.
Martial law is going to be rough.
People
think they're ready for that. When you sit on the other side of the house and you work for the government and you understand how far we can go with martial law, you don't want that.
Right.
That's just, I'll run into your house, kick you out your crib.
Right.
You sit on the street and I occupy your house. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, like you said, with our generation is a little different than the past because in the past, everything was on the surface. It was so prevalent. I think we've experienced some progress and we've become comfortable in this new, we can achieve these things. We can pursue education. We can own our own businesses. We can have money. We can finance things. We've become spoiled in a sense. So our revolution is a little different. You know what I'm saying? We're not as combative. As now we're actually a little bit more thinking about what can we change in the process. We're looking more at the legislative side of the house where can we change laws? Can we alter things about how it happens? We want to have a little bit more of that conversation. So like you said, I don't think everybody's ready to go, cock guns and clear the streets out.
Right.
No, that's not going to happen.
Right.
That's just not who our generation is. But I think we're thinking a little bit more intellectually about the situation. So hopefully we can get a lot of people to come out. I used to preach all the time to kids. If you don't like the cops in your neighborhood, go become a cop.
Right.
You don't like the teachers at your school, go become a teacher. Because why? When people see it and they see you, then they know it's possible.
Right.
That you can make the change. I was a black officer in the Air Force. How many black officers you think there are in the Air Force? We're very few and scattered between. We hardly ever see each other. But when we do, it's that head nod, because we had to work our ass off. Everybody's an officer, but you didn't work as hard as I did. And I even salute even more above that the black women, because the black women officers had to do.
They got so much against them, right?
Extra damn hurdle that I didn't have just because I was a male.
Right.
So I think, if you don't like what you're seeing, go become that.
Right.
But that's one of the issues I think happens in our community is we point out we don't like cops, and you'll plant that seed in the kid's head. Now the kid doesn't want to become a cop, right? Because it's a negative image. But the reality is, you could tell your kid, one day you can become a police officer and you could change the image of police. Like you said, that cop that pulled the gun, the other cop was like, "Hold on, what are you doing?" That is what you need.
Right. That's the cop you
cat.
need. Exactly.
And it's not enough for him. Because
people
we don't even try to become police officers. We don't try to become firefighters, teachers, yada, yada, yada. So I think progress is going to happen, but a revolution will happen before that, and it's going to get a little chaotic before it gets better. So
I agree with that.
Because we're in such a different day and age that grabbing your cell phone, grabbing your wallet can get you killed, no one's really willing to say, I'm going to step up on behalf of my people and be on the front line. Now, you do have a lot of these protests, and the protests are great. Don't get me wrong. The protests are amazing. I don't like the conversation around the protest. I don't like the we gonna do this, we gonna do that. Like, no, you're not, because now you're hyping somebody up to legit go do something, and then you have those situations like my man killing the 3 officers at the protest during the Black Lives Matter protest at that. Right. So then, what do we look like now? We look like savages. We look like cats that we're firing back. They're not going to waste a second to shoot us now, because now they know we're a threat.
People have like a out of sight, out of mind kind of mentality. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people feel if they get enough money, they won't have to deal with certain issues.
Right.
And hell, we've seen with LeBron, that's not the case.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think once people really understand, like, you can have as much money as you want, but that's not going to change the fact that that cop still may shoot you.
Right.
Then we can kind of get to, okay, we got to make a change.
Right.
But it's going to have to start within our own community. And like you said, go out and be that cop. Go out and change the dynamic of things. Even if you became a cop just so you can work your neighborhood specifically, you may have saved a handful of kids, you know what I mean, a handful of the youth. So I think we have to police ourselves and then go about policing our communities in order for this to change. Definitely.
Rest in peace, Philando Castile. It was complete and utter bullshit how he was taken from this earth. It's still depressing to see that someone can be unjustly shot and killed on camera from start to finish, and we can't even get at least a hung jury.
Right, you're right.
He already got his paid leave. He's probably gonna get another paid leave to deal with the mental and emotional stress of it all. It's such an unfair, unjust system that we're gonna always be second class, third class, damn near immigrant status citizens. You know what I mean? And it just it sucks. It definitely sucks. Just kind of close on a bit of a lighter note. Yeah, so that Pac movie.
I haven't seen. I was gonna go see it tonight, man, but now.
No, go. I'm gonna say this: go see it, formulate your own opinion, but go in with expectations so low.
Well, mine were already low because I don't like movies where they kind of get somebody that looks like the person, because I feel like you're already setting the movie up for failure. You know what I mean? So I my expectations were low, but after seeing what I have been seeing, not just people's opinion, but actual facts within the movie, I'm like, you know what? I don't know if I want to waste my time on that. Right.
I looked. I saw it last night, and I'm not gonna spoil anything with the movie, even though we all know the story of Pac, but they legitimately made a movie based around the fact that this dude looked like Tupac. Like, they could have literally just put him on the stage and took a blanket off him, like, look, it's Pac. Yeah, give me money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's low key the motivation behind making this movie. You remember on Notorious where they basically took clips from his album and basically made a theatrical version of what he was talking about, take clips from interviews and live it out so you can see what happens.
Yeah.
That's basically what they did, but the pacing in this movie is so horrible. It's like they touch base on this and they go right to the next thing. Touch base on it, go to the next thing. It's like, it wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't good.
You see, the only thing with this that I kind of feel bad for, and this is coming from someone who is an actor in himself, feel bad for the person that is the star of this.
Oh, no. With Demetrius Shipp Jr., he actually did a really good job as Pac.
Even if he did a bad job, let's say hypothetically he did a bad job, the dynamic of how bad the movie sounds like it is would have overshadowed that. So no matter what, to me, it seems like he was set up for failure. You know what I mean? Like, he's in this movie, like you said, he did a good job, but the movie is getting such bad reviews that he's automatically going to be the person they point to.
He was unfortunately a victim of confusion in the production.
Yeah.
Honestly. The movie should have been a lot better. I know they initially had Antoine Fuqua.
I think they said John Singleton's supposed to do one, right?
No, before John Singleton, it was Antoine Fuqua. No, I think it was John Singleton.
John supposed to do one.
He probably is.
So it was Benny Boone did it. Singleton was supposed to do it with Benny Boone. Benny and Singleton didn't like how each other wanted to portray. They wanted two very different versions of this movie and what was the key focus areas.
Right.
So Singleton fell out of it. So it was actually supposed to be a collaborative effort.
Okay.
I haven't seen it either, but I'm a huge Pac fan. If anybody remembers me in college, I had a big black hoodie that had Tupac airbrush on the front. His books, everything. I went and took the class because there was a class that was offered. I don't want to be upset.
Bro, that's the same thing with me. If people know me personally, the Don Illuminati, the 7 Day Theory is the reason I picked up a pen and got behind the mic. Pac has been my ultimate motivation when it comes down to rap music. I was 7 when he died, and he still had an effect on me.
Yeah.
You know, in that short bit of time that we had him here. But I knew to go in with low expectations because black biopics, they're 50-50. You're either going to get New Edition or you're going to get Notorious. Like, that's just, you go in with that kind of mindset. There were a lot of inaccuracies in the movie. Jada even spoke about them.
Yeah.
Where I was just upset was they said that they've had this movie's been done for 6 years. It's just in that time they were teaching dude how to act. Like, as far as the script and everything is concerned. The movie's been done. In that time, the only people that were dead from this story was Pac and Gaddafi. Now, you can get everybody telling some kind of story. Mm-hmm. Why not get those stories and then just match stories for story? Pac was never alone. Even when he was just smashing randoms, you know what I'm saying? He was never alone. Shit, Tretch has a sex tape with Pac. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, Pac was never alone. You could have got some serious stories, a better direction with the directing, and it just could have been a lot better. One thing that is pissing me off, though, about this is that when I did mention that the movie was definitely a downer, people, a lot of people been coming at me like, you got to support the black dollar and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, trust me, I'm one of the main people that be preaching and supporting the black dollar. I'm one of the main people that's supporting black businesses. I said straight up, go watch the movie, formulate your own opinion. Just like that black bank out in California, everybody say you need to bank with them. Now all of a sudden they're not saying it because they find out that their service sucks. I'm not going to tell somebody to go support something in a sense of you wasting your money. I'm saying go to see this to formulate your own opinion because this is a movie.
Right. And to touch on that, what I'm finding a lot within our community is definitely support the black dollar.
Of course.
Definitely do that. But I feel like they feel like if you have a business and you're black, you automatically are supposed to support it.
Right.
This person can be, like you said, have shitty customer service and they still, well, he's black, so give. No, that's not
Right.
how it works. You know what I mean? If you want to be seen equal on this business platform, then I'm going to treat you as equal as a consumer.
Right.
And I don't care how black this goddamn business is. If your service sucks, I'm not spending my money there. You know what I mean? And second thing, you can say yes or no on this. I've read there's an iPhone in this movie.
I didn't see it if it is one.
Okay. Because that was going to be the complete. I heard there's a scene and you can see an iPhone in the movie. I was like, if that is the case, no, I'm not doing it.
Just insane. It's insane that what did they say, $40 million? How much did they have to even make this
To make
movie?
it at 40.
$40 million. $40 million. You just gotta think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, the black dollar supporting it. I dig it. I hear you. But if that was the case, then every black thing that comes out would have massive support. This show would have 1,000 views a week.
Easy. Right.
We're men of Sigma. We went to HBCU. We're black men.
We did
should
about
have
as the
1,000
blackest things you could do. We're creating a black business. Right.
Exactly. My book would have been a bestseller. I'd be right next to Kevin Hart's face on some stand somewhere. Mm-hmm. No, it's not how it works. Because why? You got to pay your dues. You got to earn it. You got to put the time in. And I understand that. But the whole knocking you for your opinion, saying support the black dollar, that's some bullshit.
Even after you supported the black dollar, you went to go.
I gave them my $12.
Right.
I gave them my $12.
And I went after matinee. That was extra money.
I had comfy seats.
That was extra money. Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, you supported the movie and then you have an opinion. I just feel like social media kind of funny because you put out an opinion, now everybody want to knock you.
Right.
But then when they put out something, you get on their page, now it's like, oh no, this is just my
You
perspective.
on my page. Why you worried about what I'm saying?
You on my shit. Knocking me, yada, yada, yada. You could unfollow me.
Right.
Like, well,
it's that simple.
It's like, oh, we can't have this an intellectual conversation, this intelligent dialogue right now? No. Why? You know what I'm saying? I think people are just too involved. I think you as a hip-hop head, your expectation going in as somebody that actually knows the story, you really did your history, your due diligence, versus somebody that has zero fucking clue about who Tupac was outside of what you can find in media, what you can actually see. That you're going to have two very different opinions.
Right.
If you didn't grow up on his music, you didn't grow up on his history, you don't really know any of the background, you never read any of the other books, you never watched any of the documentaries, anything else, this is your first
experience
to
with
go,
Pac.
then I can understand you saying this is a great movie or is this, that, and the third. Look at the cinematography, it has a great album. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I seen on Twitter somebody and you guys are similar situations, they grew up on Pac, they're enthralled with Pac. He said that this movie is the equivalent of watching a whole bunch of videos on YouTube that have rare footage.
Honestly, this was like the Lifetime Aaliyah movie with a solid ass GoFundMe. Just being completely honest, like they shit collected some shit in them 6 years. Yeah. Now, one thing I will speak on with the movie that I truly appreciated, because one of the main questions was, how was he able to put so much on wax in 25 years of living? They kind of touch on that. They have him, he's in the booth recording California Love. As soon as he got done recording that, he went to another room of the recording studio to record 2 of America's Most Wanted. He lived in the studio. So I appreciate them showing that, because we definitely needed context behind that. They have some good job moments, but the rest of the movie, it's just, yeah, man, again, go see the movie, formulate your own opinion, but also go into it with a very low expectation. Because if you go into it expecting, I'm about to get this full Tupac story, I'm about to get his beginning into his end. No.
You're mistaken, my friend.
Sadly mistaken. I mean, after Jada called him out for the inaccuracies of her relationship with Pac, LT, wasn't it LT Sutton? That may be the wrong name, but I know it's LT something. But he came out and was like, we did take some artistic liberties with the stories. It's a biopic.
Yeah.
What artistic liberties are you taking with my story?
Right. But even you look at the NWA movie, right?
Uh-huh.
And they did an interview with Q, and even Q says there's rules, and I guess Kevin could even speak on it a little bit better. There's rules to cinema. There's rules to film. There's certain things you have to do, certain emotions you have to try to create.
Right.
So sometimes you do have to take those artistic liberties, because even Q said in the NWA movie, some of that stuff didn't happen as it happened,
But for the sake
but
of the movie,
for the
we
sake
have to
of
do it
creating
this
this
way.
drama, creating this, we had to shoot it a certain way. So I'll give them the artistic liberty, but when you have the living people alive, there's no reason Jada shouldn't have been consulted and been a part of making this movie. I don't know any other person that has a tighter relationship with Pac that still like screams and like she's a cheerleader for his life than Jada. So she should have definitely been a part of making the damn movie. Like,
what actually pissed me off? Edie from the Outlaws is in the movie. Edie was Pac's hype man. He was his right hand man. He was with Pac. He was with Pac when he died. How did you let a lot of this shit happen in the movie? Like, if anybody know Pac, it's you.
That bag, man.
That bag is crazy.
That bag. Hey, listen, we're going to do it this way. You take this and sit down somewhere.
Appreciate you. But I'm telling you, I don't know. Edie was looking old. I don't know why they got him to play himself. But Edie was looking old. I'm like, this wasn't what Edie looked like in 96. It wasn't bad. I'm definitely say that. It was not bad. When it's on Netflix, I'll definitely watch it again just to kind of make sure.
You think that'll hit Netflix?
Oh, yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
I think it'll hit Redbox. I don't think
You know
it'll
what?
hit Netflix.
The reason it'll hit Netflix is because of his popularity. It'll hit Redbox too, but it'll definitely hit Netflix just because of his conversation. If Snow on the Bluff was on Netflix for like 6 years, the Pac movie will definitely hit Netflix. Gentlemen, this has been a fantastic conversation. To the new listeners of The Noize, welcome. Come back next week. I'm just going to tease Skyler's going to be on the show every week just to kind of get a new listener. Skyler, once again, talk about your book and talk about where people can find you.
Again, it's called Before They Silence Me. You can get it on Amazon. For you Kindle readers, you can get it on Kindle as well. You can find me everywhere. My name is Skyler Ward on Facebook. When you see the picture, all you see is this really diesel dude wearing a tank top. That's me. My face is not featured on any of my social media.
It's all man titty.
On Instagram, it's skyward_88. You can also follow me on Snapchat as a HotSand88 on Snapchat. So you can get at me on any of those platforms. Please make it appropriate, because my girl has my passwords to all my social media. She checks my messages before I do. So you say something slick and this Trinidadian anger comes at you, I don't have nothing for you, my G.
Ain't nothing like West Indian anger. Trust me. Trust me. Hollywood.
Same as usual, man. _Hollywood Kev on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, that's it for me, man. I feel like I be leaving out of social media, but that's really all I be on.
Yeah, I only be on Facebook, but I still plug Twitter.
Yeah.
Now I'll be on Twitter a slight
every
bit
once
more
in a
now.
while,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
you know.
Every blue moon.
Yeah.
So if you want to catch me on those said blue moons, at Big Los UTC. You can also follow me on Facebook. Don't add me. And Snapchat. It's Big Los on Snapchat. I'm legitimately the only Big Los on Snapchat. I'm very happy about that. And there was a Big Los available. So now the only Big Los is a black guy. Pretty sure there's a bunch of Hispanics that hate it. Is what it is, though. Again, check out Before They Silence Me by Skyler, Lost Thoughts Wars. $10 on Amazon. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, we appreciate you guys supporting us. And as always, it's Big Los.
Hollywood Kev.
It's the Noize.